Hello everybody, it's Wendy, and today I have for you a tutorial on these cute little stretch bracelets with the little bead embellishment here in the middle. So these are so pretty, I think. They turn out so cute, and you can do so many different things with them. Here's this one, and then this is a black and silver version that I made that I wanted to be just really sparkly and pretty, and this is what it looks like on. So I think these turn out just adorable, and they're little stretch bracelets, which normally I'm not a big fan of stretch bracelets, but yeah, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. So here they are. So there's the bracelet, and then we're gonna do the earrings, matching earrings for the set today. So there's the little earring with our bead cluster, and I just love these. I think they turn out so cute. So yeah, if you are interested in learning how to make these, then we're going to hang in here. We're going to get a supply list together. So let me move these out of the way. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need for your bracelet is you're going to need two pieces. Why do I have 4 pieces? Because I've got them doubled over. Okay, 2 pieces of opalon. And this needs to be about 22 to 24 inches long, your opalon does. Now you can use Stretch Magic, you can use whatever beading fiber, stretchy fiber that you like, but I just prefer the opalon. I like it. I feel like it's sturdy, it's not going to break on me. So like I said, you need about 24 inches of 2 pieces of this. So cut that. You're going to need a clipboard to tie this to, or to put it on so you can stretch it. You're going to need scissors, obviously. Oh, I'm so sorry. To cut. You're going to need round nose pliers, chain nose pliers, and cutters right here. I hope this camera is not going to be so in the way that I bump it every time I move. Okay, so we've got those. And then for the bracelet, you're going to need a couple of focal beads, and then if you want bead caps, or you can use cones. If you look in this one, I've got these bead cones and these focal beads. In this one, I've just got 2 focal beads, and I didn't really use bead caps or cones or anything on that one. But I like to have something bigger on each side of the little cluster here, just to set it off and give it some, I don't know, boundary, I guess. So that is that. And you're going to need those. And then you're going to need all the little dangles for your cluster. And I'm going to show you how to make these, because we do these a little bit special. But you're going to need an assortment of, I like to use on these bead caps. And I just dropped one. Okay, found it and hit the camera. Okay, bead caps, and then nothing bigger than an 8mm bead on here. If you do, it just kind of gets overwhelming on your thing. See, I used a 10mm bead on this one, and I don't really care for the big beads on there. But now, if you like it, just go with whatever you like. But I prefer 8mm or smaller on these little dangles. So just get yourself an assortment of beads in the colors that you want, and some bead caps and some metals. Like, you can use some metal beads that match your metal that you're using, if you are. So just get that together. Then you're going to need a piece of tiger tail, and this is about, I don't know, 6 inches, 5 inches, and you're just going to fold it in half, and we're going to use this as a needle to get our beads on our stretchy stuff. That's kind of important because they're really hard to get on there with that. You may need a little super glue to dab on the knot of your stretchy bracelet. And then you're going to need the beads for your band. So here's the band on this one. Here's the band on this one. And you're just going to need an assortment of whatever you want to use on there. So I'm using, and you can use bigger beads for the band if you want. So these are like 12mm, and I think these are 10. Yes. And I've got some daisy spacers in there, snowflake spacers. So you're just going to need beads for that. And I think that's everything you need for the bracelet. Okay, so for the earrings, you're going to need a couple of long head pins, 1 per earring, a big bead. Okay, so if you see on this one, we've got this big bead right here. And on this one, this big bead right here. So you're just going to need a big bead. You're going to need 7 or 8 dangles, small dangles, and I'm going to show you how to do the dangles for this one. You do it a little bit different than you do the bracelet dangles. You're going to need an ear hook. I'm using a fish hook ear wire. And you're going to need 2 small beads to put on the bottom and the top of your big bead. And the reason for that is the bottom, it keeps your head pin from going through your big bead. And the top, it pushes your dangles up to the point where they don't cover up your big bead, where they can kind of float around here a little bit and have some height to them. So that's what you're going to need for that. And I think that's everything for the earring. Okay, so let me get this out of the way. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you the 2 types of dangles that we're making. So the dangle for your bracelet, and I just flipped the head pin out of I'm having not much luck today with stuff like this. Okay, so the dangle for your bracelet has a coil on it. And the reason for that, if you look right here, see that little coil on there? And the reason for that is it makes your bead dangle stand up. See how they stand up on there? If it just had the one loop, they'd all just drop to the bottom. So the coil just gives them the height that they've got there and makes them stick up a little bit. The bead dangle for the earrings, we're not going to do the coil because they're going to stack on a head pin and you're not going to need the coil to make them stick up. Okay, you're just going to do a regular loop. So we'll start with the dangle for the bracelet, what we're going to do for the bracelet. So for the bracelet, you would just take your beads and put it on. You need a longer head pin for this. Like this is probably a 2.5 inch head pin. So you just go ahead and put them on your head pin. Then you're going to take your chain nose pliers and you're going to bend this 90 degrees. Okay. Now, when you make these dangles, make them all different. Don't make them the same. See, I've got big beads on the bottom, small beads on the top, then small beads on the bottom, and big beads on the top. I've got bead caps on some, not on others. So yeah, you don't want to make them all the same. You want them to have some variety. Okay, so then you're going to take your round nose pliers and grab the head pin at the end, and you're going to start rolling back towards you. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a coil. So readjust your plier and keep rolling. Keep turning your plier and keep rolling. And what you want to do is make sure that your second little roll around, that the wire sits beside the first one, and you want to keep doing that and make this little coil all the way up. You don't want your wire to sit on top of itself, okay? You want it to be, and see how it does? It makes a little coil. Now, you want to get this as close to the bead as you can, the coil, but you don't want to break your bead, so just get up there as close as you can. And that's how you're going to do all the dangles for your bracelet. And you need about, this bracelet here has 11 or 12 dangles on it, so you can see how full it makes it. This one here has more, it's got like 16, so it makes it a lot fuller. So depending on how full you want your bracelet, your little embellishment to be on your bracelet, you make your bead dangles accordingly. Okay, so then for the earrings, all we're going to do is do a regular little, you're going to put your bead on your head pin. The pearl does not want to go down on there, of course. There we go. Okay, you're going to bend this at 90 degrees. You're going to take your cutters and cut off about that much. It's about a finger width is what I do. Okay, and then you're just going to roll the loop back just like this. Okay, and there you have it. See your little loop there? And that's what you need for your earrings. So make up your dangles, get them all ready, and come on back. Pause your video while you do that, and then come on back and we will go ahead and start on our bracelet. Okay, so if you've paused your video, made your dangles, come back, we're ready to start on our bracelet. So you're going to need your clipboard for this and your opalon. So grab your clipboard, grab your pieces of opalon, put all the ends together on your pieces of opalon. So take your 2 pieces, and mine are tangled, so just one second. And then put all 4 ends together, top and bottom, all 4 ends together. And what that will leave you with is a loop here. Okay, see this loop on the bottom? No, you don't, because I don't have it on screen. There it is. And you got all 4 ends together at the top. And I've got this cut way too long. So I don't know what I was thinking. I told you guys 24 inches in here. I went and cut mine about 4 feet, it looks like. So let me cut some of this off. It does not need to be this long. And we'll get back into it. Okay, goodness, what I was thinking. Set those pieces aside for another bracelet. Alright, so here we go. This is much better. So get your ends together. All 4 ends. Just like this. They don't have to be perfect, but get them as close as you can. And you'll have this loop on the bottom. Okay? So there's our loop on the bottom. All 4 ends at the top. Now, just come down a little ways and tie a regular overhand knot. This is going to get cut off at the end, so it doesn't really matter if it looks good. It's just for the purpose of clipping this on here right now. And then you're going to clip the knot end onto your clipboard. Just like that. Okay? So you've got your knot end up there. You've got your loop end down here. Alright, now what you're going to do is you're going to take your piece of tiger tail that we folded in half, and you're going to put it around your opalon here. So it's going to make like a little needle here. And I'm going to trim mine off because it got a little frayed where I was working with it before. Okay, so this is what you've got. You've got a little tiger tail needle. And what you're going to do is start threading on. So here's our example. You're going to be threading on one side of your bead cluster, so your big bead. So I'm going to put on my bead cap. Now you don't want to pull this all the way up to the end of your clipboard. If you don't need to do that, because you're going to have to scoot them all back down in the end anyway. So keep them down, kind of close to this end, but you just have to have room for everything to go on. So we'll go ahead and put this one on, and we'll do this other bead cap. Just like this. Okay, so there's going to be one end, the far end of my little cluster. So now I need to string on all my little clusters. So I don't do this in any particular order. I just do it. Just string them all on here. I mean, if you see that you're putting like all your pearls together, you might want to try to spread that out a little bit or something, but they don't have to go on. You can put on just in random order. And Sadie is like scratching. I can hear her collar over there. Sorry for the noise. Alrighty. Just keep stringing the little coils on, and see what these coils do is they make them sit up so that you'll see when we get done here. They don't all hang in the same position. Okay, whoops. I'll just get these all on here. If you can hear Chris talking next door, he's working. He's teaching a class right now in the other bedroom. He works from home, but that goes on an earring. That's not the coil. Okay, and this one is. Alright, so I'm sorry if you can hear him talking a little bit in the background. Hopefully it's not too distracting for you. Okay, so once you get all these on, there we have it. All of our little dangles. Then we're going to put our other big bead on, and bead cap if you're using a bead cap. And let's go ahead and get these on here. Alright, so there you go. So this is what we've got right here. Okay, And this will smush together in a little bit more later, okay? So now what we need to do, I'm going to scoot this back so you can see it, is we need to string on the length of our bracelet. So we've got our beads here that we wanted to use, and you're just going to start stringing them on until you get it the length that you want it to be. So let me dump those out. I want mine to be, my wrist is kind of small, and I do like between 5.5 and 6 inches usually. So you just have to put on the amount that works for you, and we'll stop here and measure in a minute and just see kind of where it's at. So I put all these on. So Chris and I had a little adventure yesterday. I'll tell you guys about it. God is so good to us, and I'm telling you, he watches out for us in our stupidity and rescues us out of situations. And so we were out on the motorcycle yesterday, and we were on a huge 6-lane, very busy road, okay? So the gas gauge in the motorcycle, we had a suspicion that it wasn't working right, but it's always worked before, and we were kind of like, well, is it broken? We couldn't tell really, but we had a suspicion that it was. So we're driving along, and he's like, yeah, we probably ought to get gas soon. And I'm thinking, okay, we passed a gas station. And I'm like, he didn't pull in there. And we go down this hill, and he goes, oh no. Well, yes, we were out of gas. The motorcycle just quit. I mean, when it's out of gas, and it stops. And so this is how good God is to us, okay? So we're on this busy 6-lane road. We were getting ready to go up a big hill. Now, if we would have gone up that big hill and the motorcycle had stalled in the middle of that big hill, or even at the beginning of it, we would have rolled backwards into all that traffic. And so that was terrifying in itself. And then this road had no shoulder. So just happened that the one place, the very spot we ran out of gas, had this little lip that you could drive up onto the sidewalk without having to go over the curb. And I was like, oh my gosh. I said, God is so good to us. I can't believe, number one, he kept us. He let this, if it's going to run out, it's going to run out. He protected us from being on the big hill when it ran out. And number two, he gave us a little place to get up on the sidewalk. And number three, the gas station was like within walking, we could see it from where we were standing. So, oh my goodness, I'm so thankful. And I joke about it all the time, but I tell Chris, my guardian angel is going to be the one with a bent halo and broken wings from all the things it's had to save me from. But yeah, I was so grateful yesterday for God's watching over us. Now we're going to measure here. I've got mine too long. I'm going to take a couple off. But watching over us and just making sure that we were protected. We walked up, got gas, walked back, and that was it. We get on the motorcycle, we take off, we're done. And there was no disaster. And I'm just very thankful because it could have been a whole lot worse. It really could have been. So, yeah, I'm very thankful. God's good to us. But anyway, now we know when that motorcycle hits 120 miles, we need gas. We definitely need gas. 120 miles, hit the gas station. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. All right, so here we go. Now if you've got your length strung on, if you were watching me there, I was just measuring around my wrist. So you just want to measure, make sure it's going to fit, and that looks pretty good for me. Take your needle off, your little tiger tail needle, and what you're going to do is you're going to put your finger in this loop right here, just like this, and you're going to scoot all the beads down to the loop. All of them. The bead dangles. The whole shebang. That's why I said don't scoot it all the way up, but mine somehow scooted all the way up anyway. Okay, so you scoot them all the way down like this, pretty tight as you can get them, and then you take your scissors and you cut 2 of these opalon strands, not all of them, Okay, just 2. Just cut 2. Cut them kind of up here so you have a little room to work with. Just 2. All right. So here's what you've got. You've got your loop around your finger. You've got your 2 that you cut. And you're going to take the 2 that you cut and put it right through the loop that was around your finger, just like this. Okay, so then you're going to pull this tight. You want all the beads down as close to that loop as you can get them. So pull them really tight. Everything down really tight. See, just like that. You don't want any spaces between the beads. You want them all tight. Then, once you get that to all tight, you can cut your other 2 threads. And then you're going to take the 2 and you're going to tie an overhand knot. Okay, and pull it tight. You want to bounce it a little, pull it tight, make sure there's no spaces and everything's good. And then you're going to tie a surgeon's knot, which is you go through the loop twice, just like that. Unless you drop one. There we go. Pull that tight. One more surgeon's knot. Okay. Pull it tight. Now, if you have super glue, which I do. Now, see my super glue? It's wrapped in this napkin. The reason for that is I glued my fingers together the other day. Yes, I did. My mom called, and I couldn't even answer the phone because I had my fingers glued together. It was painful too, and it took me a while to get them undone, and I don't ever want to do that again, so I'm a little more careful, and just put a little dab of super glue on your knot. Okay, dab it up in there. Oh, I'm so sorry. And then if you can pull it up in your bead, go for it. There we go. Mine went right up in the bead. You hope it will, but you never know. Okay. Yeah. Super glue is not my friend. Okay. Now, here you have it. So this is your finished product on your bracelet. Try it on. Make sure it fits. You can adjust your little bead dangles around how you want them. And look how cute. It's adorable. I love these. Okay, take it off. Now we're going to make the earrings that go with it. Alright, so these are super easy. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your head pin. You put one of your small beads on the bottom. See how big that hole is in that bead? The head pin would go right through that. So you have to have a stopper. Okay, then you put your big bead on. And you put your other small bead on, just like this. Then you're going to string on your dangles. And just put them on randomly. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like I have 8 here. Okay, 8. Alright, there's what you've got. Now, you're going to take your chain nose plier. You're going to bend this at a 90-degree angle and hold them on there because they will come off if you're not careful. Then you're going to cut it about right there. And hold these with your thumb or your nail. Hold them down. And then just roll the loop. And you need to make sure that you get your loop all the way closed. Because if you don't, those little dangles will come off. They will start immediately coming off. So your loop has to be closed. And mine's a little crooked, so I'm going to stand it up there. And just make sure that it's closed all the way. And is it? Having trouble with this one a little bit. There we go. Okay. I need to bend that hook back a little. It's totally... I didn't do very good with that loop, guys. But close it up. Alright, we got it. Now you're going to take your ear hook, open it up, slide this booger on here, close it, and there you have it, an adorable little earring. So let's make the other one real quick, and then I'll show you the set. Same thing, put your small bead on, put your big huge bead on, put your next small bead on, and thread on all your dangles randomly. I didn't even make sure that I had the same dangles for each earring. I mean, you can if you want to, but I just made them all different. I wasn't worried about having, now that one has the coil. It should have gone on the bracelet, but I missed it. That one does too. That's no good. Is this one going to be as full as this one? I am going to have to add those on, even though they have the coil. They're going to have to go on anyway, because I don't have enough. Yeah, that'll be okay. Alright, then fold it over 90 degrees. Hold those on. And this one I don't need to cut as much off, just a tad. And roll your loop back. Close it up real good. That one went much easier. Okay, open your ear wire, put it on, close it up, and there is our little set of earrings, and here is our bracelet. So this, I think, makes a really, really cute little jewelry set. It is quick and simple. You can use focal beads that you don't get to use in other things. And yeah, it looks like you spent a whole lot of time doing something really intricate and you didn't. So that's the kind of jewelry that we like, right? So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And if you did, like it and subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to grow the channel a little bit more. I kind of seem like I've gotten stuck, so I want to get it up there past the 2,500 mark up to the 3,000 marks, my goal. So let me scoot these down here so you can see them. So I've been uploading pictures to my website, uploading things like crazy to my website. So visit the website. Here it is. Here's all my information. You can check me out on Facebook and Instagram. I post pictures on Facebook and Instagram that don't get posted on YouTube because YouTube doesn't let us post pictures. So yeah, there's things on there. So follow me on there and visit my website. And yeah, you guys have a great rest of the day. I'm going to get off here. Today is my day off, and I'm loving having today off. But I'm going to get off here, and I need to do something more productive than what I've done this morning. So you guys have a great, blessed rest of the day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.